We are here today with Justin Peng of the second headline show. How are you feeling?
Feeling really excited. I've worked really hard for this show and I'm so excited because it's sold out and we have 250 people in the room. So yeah, I'm really excited.
This is your second headline show, but also your second sold out.
Yes, get it right.
Yes.
Love that, yes.
Okay, so we're going to go, I guess, backwards a little bit and talk a bit about your journey.
Yeah.
It can almost be divided into 4 parts. So China growing up, coming to the UK, X Factor, going back to China, and then coming back to the UK to now. Can you walk us through your journey?
Okay, I love that you did your homework. It's indeed like that, 4 parts, yes. I'd say throughout the whole time, I've never stopped singing. I've never stopped being creative and making music and writing music. I've always been quite expressive, written in a written form. So when I was in China, I was always singing in school, choir. I did as much as I can. Yeah. And then came to the UK. I was also part of like a cappella groups and school choir and stuff. And then I did university, and I think it was when I was at Oxford, I was scouted to go on a television show in China. They found 35 contestants around the world, and they would compete together, and I ended up winning. So that was like, a hint for me in a way that it's kind of like somebody's guiding me up there saying, you need to continue doing this. And thankfully, through the show, I was able to meet a lot of industry professionals. And it provided me with a lot of opportunities to write music. And then here we are. I'm doing music full time.
Yay!
Exciting.
I know when we were walking around Shoreditch a few years ago with RJ and Co, you were telling me a bit about your relationship with your parents and their journey with their acceptance of you stepping into being a creative full time. If you don't mind sharing a bit about that and I guess your side of that as well.
For sure. Do you know what's funny? My parents are actually here tonight.
Amazing.
And they flew all the way from China to see the show. And my dad messaged me like when I announced the show tickets, and he was like, "Hey, would it be convenient for me to?"
Convenient.
That's the word, literally.
Beautiful.
Like convenient for me to see the show. I feel like I've never been like super close with my dad, but I am close to my dad. It's such like an interesting relationship. It's like he's in his mind he had an expectation for me to be a certain way, and I know that growing up, and I feel like I'm not able to become that person, so I try very hard in different ways to satisfy him. But I realized that there's no way I can do that forever.
Yeah.
So as I grew older and I started to look out for myself, and I made the decision to become a musician full time, and I told him, and he was like, "But what about a house?
Yeah.
What about a marriage?" And I felt like many can relate. Asian parents have a certain expectations on their children because they've worked their entire life for you to have a better life, kind of thing. So I'm always torn between that Eastern mentality and this Western upbringing. And I'm like, I also want to have a life for myself. So in all the songs that I write, I often like explore that themes, and in a way it helped me to grow. And as a musician and as a person, I heal. Being creative and expressing my feelings. To answer your question, I feel like things are getting better between me and my parents, or my dad particularly, and I've been spending a couple of days with him for the past few days, and we've walked around places, I show him places, and I'm going to take him to university where I studied, and I'm really glad that I'm able to show him. I think this is the first time he's going to see me perform ever.
Oh, amazing.
Ever.
Yeah.
And I hope to really show him how happy I am on stage, how energized I am, and how much I feel like I belong on stage.
Yeah.
And I also hope that he could see that all my friends and my fans love me for the person that I am, and hope to make him proud, really. And
so more than sure you will. That takes me nicely on to the next one.
Yeah.
You were talking about your growth there, I guess digging into yourself.
Yeah.
Since I first came across you, I can see a real growth in your confidence, not just in your music itself, but I guess also outwardly, your fashion and the visuals. Yeah, I guess for you, was there a specific moment or turning point that something just clicked in your mind?
For sure. And I feel like many of us Asian kiddos would relate, because in China we were taught to grow up to blend in, never to step out and never sort of step on anyone's toes, always to be build a harmonious relationship and not to hurt anyone, especially in Chinese culture. Confucius say to be kind and to blend in, and my parents always told me when I was younger to say the gun would always shoot the bird that flies first. So I was told in that way not to be different in a way. But again, as I said, as I grow older, and I'm as a musician, as an artist, and you write music to hope people that will resonate with you and they find themselves in your music, you have a platform, right? And music is such a way for you to connect with people. Fashion is the same thing. How you can express yourself. And it's a statement. Music, fashion is a statement. So I feel I hope to really hone those together somehow to really let people see me visually and hearing my music, they would really feel a certain way. So I feel fashion and music and storytelling is ingrained in Justin Peng as a brand.
Really stepping into, I guess, your authenticity.
Yeah.
As the music industry is saying.
For sure.
Right.
You can't be a singer anymore.
Yeah.
You have to have something to say. You know? How do you want your fans to feel after hearing your music? How do you want them to scream on top of their lungs? If they are screaming for you, what do they scream about? You know? Not just your name. So I feel as an independent artist these days, you really have to think about that.
Yeah.
And that's so different from how I was taught growing up, because I was taught to be the same and blend in.
Yeah.
But now I'm trying to step out and be I'm different and I'm unique. And how do I find that, I was not taught that way, but hey, we'll get there. You'll get there.
Well, you're definitely well on the way.
I feel everybody's on their way getting. I'm not there yet.
Oh, no, but I think, as is with life, it's always the journey.
For sure. And even if you're like this right now, it doesn't mean you're like this forever.
Exactly.
Your identity can change.
Yes.
It's all fluid.
Okay, let's dive a bit more into your music itself then. Can you tell us your earliest memories of songwriting?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Is my keyboard player here? Luke. He knows my songwriting has gotten a lot better. I don't know. It's been difficult. But I would say songwriting is definitely something you should practice. It doesn't, when people say, oh, just write when you feel inspired. No. At least for me, it takes practice.
Yeah.
And it's like an instrument. You have to take inspiration. You have to practice. You have to have some kind of references in order for you to fabricate something from nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I often hear people oh, I don't write. I only write when I'm, inspired. You're lying. That's not true. You must have been writing music. I'm thinking about it all the time.
Yeah. It's
constantly thinking about lyrics. I write down, voice memos and lyrics and words. I'd be waking up from the other day, I came back from rehearsals. I was on a bike.
Yeah.
And my parents always tell me, don't use your phone on the bike. Don't listen to music. But, I have 3 days left up to a show day, so I was listening to the music.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I was writing music. And I grabbed my phone out. I was recording on the phone as as I was cycling in the rain.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is so dangerous. And the line came. I said, I know it's dangerous, but I do it anyway.
Yeah.
That I felt like that was a great line of lyrics, you know? So things come to you when you do it all the time, when you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
When you're switched on, I feel like. And songwriting hasn't been easy for me because the songs I wrote in the past, honestly, I just like bin it. You know, what did Ed Sheeran say? He said like honoring your vomit and killing your babies. It's basically
gosh, I haven't heard that one.
Have you heard about this one before?
No, there was another quote. Emma, from America, she was telling me there's a quote from him that she really likes. It's about turning on like a rusty pipe, getting all the gunk out until you hit clear water.
Wow.
That was her reference for songwriting.
I mean, trust the guy.
Yeah.
All the hits, you know. Basically, what he said was, I'm not sure if he said Sheeran, actually. I'm just like saying things. But I'm pretty sure it's him. He said,
it's not you.
He said, killing your baby as in like you write 10 songs.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're all really good, but you have to pick that one to keep pushing it.
Yeah.
And then honoring me your vomit is like sometimes songs might be really bad for you, but it can be good for someone else.
Yes. Yeah.
So I feel like it's all, a practice.
A practice, for sure.
Give and take.
Coming to the end now, so I'm just going to give you a few quick fire questions. Don't think too much about them.
I hate these.
They should be fun, hopefully.
I'm an overthinker, so I'm going to fail at this. I just let you know.
Okay. Talk about live. Favourite song to perform live that you have already performed
Level
live.
top.
Okay.
Mine or not mine?
Your song. Yeah.
You see? I'm overthinking it. I don't know.
Anyone
I think I do.
Okay.
Is unreleased as well.
Okay.
It's called Old School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I think it's the band's favourite too.
Nice. Okay. If you had to work or had the opportunity to work with anyone...
Beyonce.
No, I'm not finished yet.
Okay.
But shout out to Beyonce. Anyone of Asian heritage.
Rina Sawayama.
There we go.
If you're seeing this. I actually got in touch with Lauren, who co-wrote most of Rina's songs.
Yeah.
Her last album, Help the Girl.
Yes.
Lauren co-wrote most of the songs on that album. I met her and I somehow convinced her to come to the gig tonight, but she actually is in Korea right now. And I was just texting her earlier. She couldn't come today.
That's all right.
But
that's going to be plenty.
She wants to come to next one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so last two.
Okay.
What is your one piece of advice for new artists based on your experience?
Find that something that makes you special and unique, even though this might be something that you hated about yourself before.
Can you let us know what's in the works for 2025?
Well, 2025 is going to be really amazing. I'm on 2 festivals. One I can say, the other one I can't say. I'm on Mighty Hoopla. I'll be sharing the stage with Kesha and Sierra this year, so I'm really excited for that. I'm on 1st of June, Sunday. That's very exciting. And I have 2 EPs coming. One towards the end of 2025. And I might be going on tour. But that's also in the making.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. And
thank you for having me.
Super excited to see you again. I know you're going to kill it.
There will be some, me not remembering my lyrics here and there. But, it's just a Peng show.
Yeah, and you're in a room full of people who love you and are there to see you. So,
thank you. You included. Thank you so much for having me.
No,
it's been great.